15 years, blowing the doors off the competition. Podcasting to planet Earth.
PNRNetworks.com.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
This is a Class 1 emergency. All civilian traffic is barred from streets and highways. Stay in your homes. Stay in your homes. Stay in your homes. Repeat, this is a Class 1 emergency. All civilian traffic is barred from streets and highways.
Do not panic. Do not panic. We've got the quirky films for your quarantine blues. Subject Cinema presents Captive Audience Theater with T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown.
It's that time again. Welcome to another episode of Subject Cinema presents Captive Audience Theater. I'm T.C. Kirkham. Psst. What?
Whatever you do, don't move.
Why?
I don't want you to worry, but it's on your shoulder.
What is?
It'd be better if I don't tell you. Just don't.
I have a show to do. I can't not move. What's there?
Got it.
Ow.
Sorry.
This is our lame attempt at humor, folks.
Acting!
Yep.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And you are?
Hi, I'm Kim Brown.
Jeez, it took us that long to get through the opening. Okay. We're back with more bad films. Gonna continue this show's up through what?
Nothing.
Oh, it just looked like you were ready to say something. I'm sorry. Okay. Doing bad films through the end of the summer. It's a summer of insanity, which it
Here
is.
at Captive Audience Theater, because our motto is, if we have to suffer, you have to suffer.
Yep. And we've suffered through this one several times.
Yes.
So obviously it's not terrible suffering.
Well,
it's just bad to watch.
It's bad. It's bad. It's not horrible. It's not making you run into the shower and scrub yourself bloody. You know, it's not mad.
It actually is a very divided audience. Some critics liked it, some didn't.
Well,
I find it interesting that Malton gave it 2.5 out of 4 stars. So.
Well, the thing is, the concept... See, the weird thing is with a lot of these films that we've been reviewing, like, for example, Reptilicus, which I will admit is a dreadful film, but the concept behind Reptilicus, that's really neat. Mm-hmm. It's the execution that sucks balls. And such is the case with this film.
1959's The Wasp Woman.
Yep.
Produced and directed by Roger Corman.
And there it is, right there. That's not nice. But,
a very cheaply made film. It was made for just about $50,000.
Now,
even in 1959, that was a cheap film.
Yeah, and it's also a very short film at 73 minutes long.
Most of his were about that length.
When this film came to TV, they actually had to film a prologue because it was too short for TV. So Jack Hill was brought in to film a prologue.
Put in padding.
Yeah. Pad the film, da-da-da-da-da. Now, just before we get started, I have a set of movie rules that, they're not perfect, but they're mine. And
These are known as Kim's movie corollaries.
Yes, Kim's movie rules. Kim's movie rules go like this. If the movie if the trailer for the movie has no dialogue whatsoever,
it's a foreign language film.
The chances are very good it's a foreign language film, probably subtitled. Another of Kim's movie rules is trailers always lie. If you want proof of that, go watch the trailer for Hero, the Jet Li film Hero, and tell me that's the trailer and the movie are completely different. In this case, this film also has one of Kim's smaller movie rules, and that's posters sometimes lie. Because if you go by the poster for this film, you might actually be like, holy crap, this looks really interesting if they're going to pull it off like this. Because the poster for The Wasp Woman shows an enormous wasp with a woman's head poised over a man whose clothes have been ripped off. So if that's
shirt,
or his shirt has been ripped off, she's holding him in what could be kindly referred to as an embrace. I guess. So if you're into giant interspecies romance,
embrace maybe.
If you're into giant interspecies romance, no kink shaming here, but wow. You might think this is a really hot film. Spoiler alert, this does not happen anywhere in this movie.
No, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Wasp head, human body.
Yep. And really not even a wasp head, just like a generic bug. I don't think it looks like a wasp.
Well, I don't know. I've never looked up close at a wasp's head.
Well, the other thing we'll
no, honesty, I haven't.
We'll get into details. Well, the thing is, just starting the film off, you know that you are in trouble with your movie when you have the beginning of the film, which is called The Wasp Woman, and it's very prominent. The title's quite large, and the first shot fills the entire screen with
bees.
Yeah.
Bees and wasps are not the same thing.
No, they are not.
Part of the same genus, I'm sure, but they're not the same animal.
Yeah. I was sitting there watching that the first time.
We've talked about that before.
The first time we saw this film, and we went into it completely cold, other than knowing it was a Corman film, and I'm going, those are bees. Oh Lord, this is going to hurt. And I was not wrong. This film tells the story of Dr. Eric Zinthrup, who's actually more of a background character, but it's his whole experiments that gets this mess started. And in the prologue that was filmed by Jack Hill, we see Dr. Zinthrup, who may not be a mad scientist, but his elevator definitely doesn't go to the penthouse.
No, he doesn't qualify as an angry scientist either.
Nope. Sheep in the big city joke. We see Dr. Zinthrup being fired from a honey farm. Is that what they call those?
Yeah.
Beekeeping places? They call them honey farms?
Probably.
I just thought they called them beekeeping places. What do I know? Because, as it turns out, he has been breeding wasps and doing experiments with wasps when he's supposed to be doing experiments and finding out ways to help bees produce better honey, because that's what they hired him for. And the people who own the place... Not
to mention that wasps and bees are natural enemies.
Yeah.
Wasps often attack bees. So.
Not to mention wasps don't give honey.
No.
So this is kind of stupid. And when they find out that he's, doing this, the guy does his best Mr. McMahon, imitation and tells him he's fired. So out the door he goes. And now we shift to the actual main character of the story. For those of you who thought it was going to be the doctor, sorry to disappoint. The main character is Janice Starlin. Janice is the owner and the founder of a cosmetics company. And for a long time she was, and actually still is, the person that was the face that runs the place. She was, her visage was used to sell the cosmetics.
Very Betty Crocker-esque on her pictures on all the...
Yeah, except unlike Betty Crocker, she's real.
True. Yes,
she's a real flesh and blood person.
Yes,
at least in the movie. The problem is that, I don't know how to say this and not sound like a raging bitch, so I'm just gonna take my tact pill and do my best. sales are slipping, and so is Janice's face. I'm so sorry. Oh dear, that was not bad. Bad Kim, no cookie.
Her sales are slipping because she's aging, and it shows.
Yeah. Janice has learned that sad, sad, sad story of the fact that time does march on, and it marches on over your face. And because this is, well...
Oh my gosh, okay.
And because this is America and men get distinguished and women get old, like that's wrong.
I know.
Like that's wrong.
Anyway.
So the people who, the stockholders and all that are all grumbling because sales are down and what are they going to do? And Janice is also concerned about her appearance, yada, yada, yada. So
the smart thing would be for Janice to do would have been to hire a new group of models to do the advertising for her product.
Yeah.
But no, of course, she's too vain to do that.
Or just get a friggin' facelift, but I don't actually think they did that back then.
They did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
They were doing that back then?
Yeah.
I doubt it was very
40s and
safe.
50s, no.
I know. So anyway, into her life comes Dr. Zinthrop, who promises that his formula, which is made up of, get this, the extracts is made up of enzymes that are extracted from the royal jelly of the queen wasp. And
we have determined that the queen wasp does exist.
Yes.
But royal jelly is not one of the things that she actually emits.
No.
Not in the same way that bees do.
Bees make royal jelly. Queen bees make royal jelly. Queen wasps do not make royal jelly, although queen wasps do exist. We didn't have a complete head exploding moment like I did during Blood Feast.
We didn't know that they existed at the time we first did this, but they do.
They do. So the more you know. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The thing is, this miracle drug of his, according to Dr. Zinthrop anyway, can turn the clock back, stop the aging process cold, blah, blah, all that other snake oil. And Janice, who is, would desperate be unkind? No, actually, I don't think it would. Desperate to find a way to fix her slumping sales figures and her face, agrees to...
You are a bitch, you know that?
I know.
Oh my God.
I am actually being a terrible bitch because the lady who plays
Susan
Janice...
Cabot's very pretty.
Yes, Susan Cabot is actually a very lovely lady. Their idea of her face is slipping is a few wrinkles and she wears glasses.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's a total hag. Oh, whatever, movie. So Janice is all like, yes, you can, I'll hire you, and she throws as much money at him as humanly possible to, fund his projects, and she volunteers to be his first test subject because that sounds safe. The thing is, he gets all set up and gets to work and doing all the stuff. Like I said, he's kind of a mad scientist, but he's actually kind of nice mad scientist. He shows her some of his processes, which includes injecting he injects a rat with some of his substance, and the rat ages backwards.
Miraculously turns into a gerbil.
Guinea pig.
Guinea pig?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's the other way around, I forget which. And he also injects it into a cat, and the cat looks younger and all that stuff like that. And Janice, needless to say, is terribly impressed. I would be too if a rat changed into a guinea pig. I'd be, you're a wizard. And she's all like, roll up my sleeve and hit me up, Doc. And he's completely like, oh, no, we can't test this on humans yet. Not safe, blah, blah, blah. So Janice is not happy about this, and Janice is the kind of lady who is used to getting what she wants. So in the middle of the night, she breaks into the doctor's lab and shoots herself up with a vial of this stuff, because she knows how to do that, which has been established by the movie Never. And
she's seen all those General Hospital shows.
She could have injected herself with too much and turned herself into
that was too early for General Hospital. It would have had to be one of the earlier soaps on the CBS.
She could have injected herself with too much and turned herself into a fetus. Which would have been a more interesting movie.
That's true. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So she winds up taking the formula, and she starts to look younger. I mean, it actually does work. It does what he says it's going to do. She looks younger and apparently doesn't need glasses anymore. And the people at work are fawning all over her and, oh my gosh, you look amazing, blah, 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 blah. The problem, and you knew there was going to be one, is that Dr. Zinthra, back in his lab, one of the animals that he tested on, the cat that Dr. Winthrop did his experiment on and injected with this stuff, has gone bat guano crazy and attacks him very violently, as in he's thrown at him off camera by a stagehand.
That's just a cat.
And yeah. Oh, it's just a cat.
It took her a minute to get that, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just an animal with 20 switchblades on its feet and a mouthful of...
Cats are always that way. They're always nasty like that.
There's remarks I could make in here about a man eating pussy, but I just won't do it because we're not that kind of show.
Mrs. Slocum, really? Anyway.
It's usually the other way. Hello! So anyway, going on. So Dr. Zinthrop's completely like, oh my gosh, I have to warn them that this formula is dangerous and all that. He dashes out of his lab and is promptly mowed down by a car. Because of course he is. Because plot device! Hello. So he can't let Janice know that this is dangerous. My gosh, oh Lord, don't use it. The thing is, she is using it, and Janice finds out he's missing, then finds out that he's in a hospital, and then has him brought into her, she's like, has him taken out of the hospital and, has a nurse hired and all that stuff.
We'll put him up here.
Yeah, well, to take care of him and all that. So she keeps, hitting herself up with doses of this stuff and manages to keep taking enough shots that
push it beyond all belief.
She allegedly has taken 20 years off of her face. I'm like, she took her glasses off.
Yeah, and taking 20 years off her face would put her at about 15. She's only about 35 in this movie.
I'm like, she took her glasses off, fixed her hair, and is standing up straighter. Is that all it takes? Holy cow, I've been doing it wrong all these years. Okay, so anyway, so she looks beautiful. Everyone's going crazy for her, and she's all excited. And now we run into the problem.
Which?
The problem is that, because wasp enzymes, blah, 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 Janice turns into, at certain times, it always seems to be at night, though, when it happens. She turns into...
Which is odd, because, yes, wasps are so nocturnal animals. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, really. Yes, by the light of the full moon... No, we don't even get that. She changes...
Leave Larry Talbot out of this, honestly. This isn't even the same movies.
She doesn't need to get angry, nothing like, David Banner or anything like that. But she gets... She
turns into a waspy woman, literally.
She was already waspy.
I know.
Now her outsides matches her insides. See, your mother was right. It's what you have inside you that counts. So apparently having a bunch of wasp enzymes inside you does this to your outside. Ugh. And she winds up becoming the titular Wasp Woman and becomes this bloodthirsty monster that runs around killing people by stinging them with her hands.
I thought she was biting them at some point, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because wasps are known for biting people.
Well,
and
she doesn't have a stinger.
No, thank goodness.
I don't think.
And it's up to Dr. Zinthrop and the other people that work under Janice to actually stop the murderous rampage of this monstrous, mutated makeup maven. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I came off with all that in one shot.
Susan Cabot as Janice Starlin, Fred Isley as Bill Lane, Barbara Morris, is the way it's spelled, as Mary Dennison, William Rorick as Arthur Cooper, Michael Mark as Dr. Eric Zenthrop, and a bunch of other people that have like the one or two lines.
And Bruno Visoda. I have to bring up Bruno.
Bruno Visoda is
Yes.
the Night Watchman.
Yes,
Woohoo.
I have to bring up Bruno because I just liked him as a character actor. He was in Attack of the Giant Legions in The Wild World of Batwoman, and he just deserved danger pay for all the crap he was in.
Was he in Wild World of Batwoman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't remember.
Michael Mark is actually a name that should be known to certain people because
I don't know that the name would be known because it was such a bit player, but the face would be known.
Yeah.
He was, what was the little girl's name?
Maria.
Maria's father in the original Frankenstein.
Yes. His character's name was Ludwig, by the way. And he actually did appear in a couple of the other Universal monster films as different characters.
As most of them did.
Yeah.
Dwight Fry and all those guys doing different roles.
Seriously. But at least he knew what. But at least he could say he knew what it was like to be in one good horror movie. Anyway,
this film has very mixed reviews.
It does.
Some people really loved it, thought it was fun and exciting. Others thought it was dreadful. TV Guide called it laughable. AllMovie called it ludicrous. But William Moulton liked it. Los Angeles Times liked it. Variety thought it was interesting, but was slow and not very frightening.
I would go along with that.
Yeah. I actually think the better performance comes from Barbara Morris, who plays Mary Dennison, one of her two secretaries, and her best friend. I think her role here is more interesting than Susan Cabot's role as Janice Starlin. So,
see, I think in the hands of somebody else, this could have been a really interesting condemnation of the gender lines.
It wasn't meant to be.
I realize it wasn't meant to be. It was just supposed to be
a teen monster flick.
I know.
That's all it was meant to be.
I know. But if you do look at it from that point of view, it is really interesting how a woman's, especially at that time, we'd like to think we've gone beyond that now here in the year of our Lord 2020. We'd like to think we've gone beyond that.
We thought we've gone beyond a lot of the stuff that we haven't gone beyond in the year 2020.
True.
Anyway.
In the idea that once a woman reaches a certain age, she's only good for being a housewife or whatever.
The Wasp Woman is available everywhere because it's public domain. You could even show it on your channel if you wanted to. We probably should. And you can just search it on your Roku or your local cable system search, and it'll probably pull up on 12 or 15 different websites.
I would say so.
Where you can watch it for free.
It was also spoofed by the folks over at Cinematic Titanic. They took their own shots at it, which means you can probably see it on
Shout Factory.
Shout Factory.
Shout Factory probably has that version. They never did it on Mystery Science Theater 3000, though, did they?
Nope.
It's a fun little turd of a movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, the background of the two ladies that starred in this in real life, go look them up sometime on Wikipedia because they'll blow your mind. There's some crazy crap that happened to both of them.
Susan Cabot's story is a straight up tragedy.
Wow.
Really.
And they were both really good actresses. We hope you've been enjoying our COVID commentary on these bad movies, and we'll be continuing them through the end of the summer.
Yep.
Hopefully, by that point, we'll be able to talk subject cinema again.
Yeah. We do need to categorize this film.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And the category that this film is going to wind up in is directorial disasters, because once again, once you see that name, Roger Corman, you go, oh, strap yourself in, folks.
May I suggest a second subcategory?
Be my guest.
Insexual insanity.
That's good. I like that.
We're all about the alliteration here.
We do try.
We have more great, crazy, bad films coming up in the weeks and months ahead. We hope that you will continue to listen and to tell people we're out here, and to continue to let us know if you'd like to hear something or to hear us do something.
And suggest a film.
Suggest films. Let us know what you thought of our reviews, whatever. It does help us when we hear from you, which we don't very much anymore. Subject Cinema at PNRNetworks.com. We also have a few other shows going right now, although some of them are still on hiatus because of the the pandemic going on.
Yep.
Tuesday Digidex is up every Tuesday with the latest home video releases. Kim is still doing Ring Around the Rosie, supposedly, every Thursday when she can. I have Catastrophe Vortex up every Monday when we can. We've had the last few weeks off because we've been redoing our studio setup and we haven't had much time to do everything. So that's why some of the stuff is slowed down a little bit during July and late June and early July. But it should be done this weekend. And we also have all kinds of stuff going on the websites, East Cinema One, East Cinema Boston, Kirkland Report, Ring Around the Rosie, and all those others. Plus, don't forget our friends Eric and Valerie Lyon at kbabble.com.
Yep. And if you'd like to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at PlatinumRoselle at Twitter.com.
I'm at East Cinema One, East Cinema Boston, and TKR Online on Twitter, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for regular stuff, I'm usually on East Cinema One, but if it's movies, for Boston stuff, I'm on East Cinema Boston, and for music, I'm on TKR Online. So, it's so much easier. I wish we'd put them all. I should have put them all in one. That would be a major pain to move everything into one thing. So we'll be back with more of these in the near future. I hope you'll continue to listen. And until that time, I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
May your popcorn always be buttered.
And may your roses always be in bloom.
TTFN.
Bye now.
Buzz.
You've been listening to Subject Cinema Presents Captive Audience Theater with Kim Brown and T.C. Kirkham. Produced by PNRNetworks, Boston, Massachusetts.
years, blowing the doors off the competition, podcasting to planet Earth.
PNRNetworks